Now it is known, well known to the whole world and to the court, the High Court, and to everybody else who is a stakeholder in this case, that Nnamdi Kanu has no legal counsel. So as I speak, he still represents himself. But see, after the sentencing, I was surprised, and I think everybody else who was monitoring this case was surprised that he was plucked from Abuja and taken all the way to Sokoto, which is in the northernmost part of northwest Nigeria. So you begin to ask, how can he effectively prosecute his appeal, or even take the initial steps towards initiating his appeal? Initiating an appeal is not an easy thing to do. He has to file a notice of appeal, he has to request for the transcripts of the record of proceedings before the High Court, pay for them, review them, and do all sorts of things, all sorts of activities that will now play out before the Court of Appeal. And these things require his personal, physical presence to get these things accomplished, unless he hires a lawyer. And up to this point, he hasn't indicated that he's going to hire any lawyer, or he has not made known to anybody that he has hired any lawyer. So you begin to wonder whether he will be able to prosecute this appeal from his prison location in Sokoto. The Sokoto division of the Court of Appeal doesn't have jurisdiction over this case. It's the Abuja division. So putting him in Sokoto, I know it is true. It is not the fault of the judge. It is the fault of the executive branch. Once someone is sentenced, it becomes the property of the executive branch, in particular the correctional service. So that decision to put him in Sokoto perhaps did not take into account these concerns that I'm expressing. It is very insensitive to his rights. Prisoners do have rights. That you are in prison doesn't mean you have lost your rights under Chapter 4 of Nigerian Constitution, your fundamental rights, in particular Section 36, which is really what is relevant now. Can Nnamdi Kanu effectively prosecute his appeal or even initiate it from that location in Sokoto? The answer is no. So what I think may play out in the coming days or weeks is to seek ways and means of ameliorating the detention conditions. The judge did not particularly order that he be detained in Sokoto. There was only one prison in Nigeria that was excluded, and that was the Kuje prison. But, you know, if you check around Abuja area, the environs, there are other prisons in the vicinity. We have one in Suleja, we have in Kefi, and there are probably other prisons within 2 hours of Abuja. Those prisons would have been much better locations for detaining Nnamdi Kanu, to ensure that he's close enough to his relatives who are known to be in Abuja, his legal consultants if he wants to deploy their services. Also, is also very close to the Court of Appeal in Abuja, which has jurisdiction over this matter, and so on and so forth. So we're looking at a situation where his right to appeal is being complicated by the current location of his imprisonment.